Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another Steam Winter Sale video. So this time I'm looking at the best games that have come out in 2023 and are on reasonable sales. So what I've done is I've gone with 2 games for every month. There'll be a bonus here and there. So one will usually be an indie, one will be a bigger game. So 2 games per month will go from January to November because I'm skipping December simply because we are in December. We don't get a lot of new big releases in December due to the sales season and everything, and even if they are released, they are on very small discounts like 10% or something, so I won't cover that. So let's begin. We start with January, of course, and the big release in January was Dead Space remake. Looks good, runs well, everybody was happy, no performance issues, and yeah, it's been slowly getting bigger and bigger sales, down to 60% off. So I've seen like 33, 40, 50, 55, and now down to 60% for the base game. 1200 in India, $24, 20 pounds, 32 in Canada, 24 in the Eurozone. Next is an indie game. We have Season, A Letter to the Future. So this is a bicycling road trip indie adventure game. I don't know if it's a walking simulator, but they say it's a visual novel style game. So yeah, has very positive reviews, 88% rating on Steam TV. So it should be good. There's also a demo here and it's on a 40% sale. So 660 in India, $15, 1259 pounds, 1950 in Canada, and 15 in the Eurozone. Now on to February, and the big release in February was of course Hogwarts Legacy. And yeah, there was a lot of drama and controversy as well, but it still sold very well, had huge numbers online playing this game. So it is also on a nice sale here, 50% off, 2000 in India, $30, 25 pounds, 40 in Canada, and 30 in the Eurozone. You can see still 20 to 30,000 people playing daily. And yeah, very successful game commercially. Next, we have an indie game for February, and this is Scars Above. So Scars Above is another mysterious sci-fi style game, and some people said it's similar to Returnal, so I'm assuming some sort of roguelite elements. But yeah, it does look good, and it's also been getting some decent discounts through the year, and it's down to 70% off now. So 659 in India, $12, 1049 pounds, 1649 in Canada, 12 in the Eurozone. Now we move on to March, and my first pick is, you could say, somewhat of an indie game, like a bigger indie game, let's say, and this is Hotel Renovator. So you are basically designing and renovating entire hotels in this one. The graphical quality is better than a lot of these simulator style games, and yeah, if you are into interior decoration, interior designing and stuff like that, you should enjoy this game. So this is now on a 40% sale, 719 in India, $15, 1319 pounds, and 21 in Canada, 15 in the Eurozone. Next we have the big AAA game from March, and of course we have Resident Evil 4, the remake. Another very successful game, another game with no issues, ran perfectly at launch, and it's just been getting good reviews overall. So you can see here overwhelmingly positive, both recent and overall, and sitting at a 96% rating. So fantastic overall. There's also a small demo, 50% off, 1800 in India, $30, 25 pounds, 14 Canada, 30 in the Eurozone. They also had a separate a separate DLC that came out that is included in the deluxe edition, so you could get this one. And then our first bonus game, we have Dredge, also from March. So this is the third game in March. Another very interesting sort of fishing simulator, and I saw a lot of hype for this game on Twitter and other places. So this has some fishing elements. It's also got some sort of Lovecraftian theme to it, but it just looks very interesting and different. And it's on a small sale, 25% off, 1500 in India, 1874 in the UK, in the US, 1649 in the UK, 2437 in Canada. So on to April, and my first pick is Stranded: Alien Dawn. So this is a base building survival strategy game, and you know I like these style of games, and this looks interesting because here you crash land on an alien planet, and it looks very good, first of all, and also they have slightly changed the formula here, because what they have done is each of the survivors have a set of skills, and you have to sort of manage and utilize them to survive. And so some will be good at fighting off creatures, some will be good at farming and collecting resources and things like that. So looks very interesting to me, and I'm waiting for a good enough sale, at least for me, to pick this up. And so this is 30% off, 1050 in India, $24.49, 20.99 in the UK, 31.49 in Canada, and 24.49 in the Eurozone. Next, we have the big AAA game from April, and it is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So this game, when it came out, it did not have great reviews. There are some performance issues. They have fixed, I think, most of them, but it's still not as great as the first game in the series. So it's at 70%, so just about getting into the positive rating. And it's also getting more and more discounts. It's down to 50% now, $17.49 in India, $35, 30 pounds, and 45 in Canada. With these games, EA games, you can expect this to be much cheaper by the time of the summer sale, for example. So if you are in no rush to play this, you can wait a little bit. I'm pretty sure it'll be down to 75% or at least 65 something during the next big sale. All right, on to May, and May starts with Warhammer Boltgun 40,000. So this is a game I was waiting for a while. When it was first announced, this is a boomer shooter game set in the Warhammer 40k universe. You play as an ultramarine, and yeah, it's just Warhammer FPS boomer shooter, lots of fun, and it's been getting good reviews as well. So this is 32% off, 747 in India, $15, 12.91 in the UK, 20.39 in Canada, 14.95 in the Eurozone. Also, I forgot to mention, I actually bought this game. Next, we have the remake of System Shock. So this game the original game was from the early 90s, 94 or something, and this got a remake in May. Came out and seems to be doing well. People liked it, but I haven't heard too much discussion of this game. But it's got very good reviews, as you can see here, 89%, and it's also not a very expensive game. So I don't know if you can classify this as a indie or a AAA, because the pricing isn't as high. So this is on a small scale, 35% off, $14.29 in India, $26, $22.74 in the UK, $35.75 in Canada, $26 in the Eurozone. Next, we move on to June, and we have Street Fighter 6 coming out on the 1st of June. Now, I have no real experience of any of these style of games. I just don't play these games, but I know this is a big deal. So I wanted to mention it, and it seems to be on a decent sale. It got good reviews, 86% rated. So there's also a demo. So 34% off, $26.39 in India, $39.59, $32.99 in the UK, $52.79 in Canada. So a little on the expensive side, but it's only been out for 6 months. And of course, you probably have a bunch of DLCs and stuff to get more characters, I guess. Now, the indie game for June is Amnesia: The Bunker. So this is your first-person psychological horror style game. The previous Amnesia games have been given away, so you may have played them and you have some idea of what to expect. But it's got, again, very positive reviews, 90% rated, so must be good. And it's also not a very expensive game, so 30% off, $770 in India, $17.49, £14.69, and $22.75 in Canada. On to July, we start with another indie game. This is Oxenfree 2: Lost Signals. So the first Oxenfree game was a very popular supernatural adventure, I guess, walking simulator. I don't know if it was a walking simulator, I never played it, but it was given away free multiple times almost everywhere, so you may have it again. This is the sequel, and yeah, it seems to be very good once again. 86% rated positive, and 50% off, $440 in India, $10, 9 pounds, $12.49 in Canada, and 10 in the Eurozone. And the big game for July was Remnant 2. So I like the first Remnant from the Ashes game. Was fun in single player as well as in co-op. It's called like a Dark Souls with guns. So this is more of the same, and this seems to be better than the first one, because I saw a lot of people playing this game, a lot of streamers and other people as well. So yeah, it is on a small sale again, 40% off, $17.40 in India for the standard edition, $30, 25 pounds, $38.99 in Canada, and 30 euros. Now we move on to August, and we have a indie shooter step game. I don't know if it's a boomer shooter as such, it's more cyberpunk themed. And another game that got a lot of hype when it first came out. I think this was in early access and then it's got its full release. I'm not sure, but you can see here overwhelmingly positive, both recent and overall. And it's also got a demo, 30% off, $770 in India, $1749, £1469, £2275 in Canada, and $1715 in the Eurozone. Next, we have the big game from August, which kind of did not do well. This was EA's Immortals of Avenum, whatever. And this game just, nobody played this game. Just, it seemed like a decent game, but yeah, there was no hype, nobody played it, nobody bought it, and the studio was, I think, closed, or maybe a lot of people were laid off or something, because yeah, poor sales. So anyway, it's a story about a single player first person magic shooter that tells the story of Jack as he joins an elite order of battle mages to save a world on the edge of abyss. How many times have we seen something like this? Anyway, it's got positive reviews, so it can't be that bad, but apparently did not sell. So 60% off, $1,200 in India, $24, £20, 32 in Canada, 24 in the Eurozone. Next, we have Trine 5, so another bonus game, this time for August. Trine 5, A Clockwork Conspiracy. So Trine games are a lot of fun, very colorful, usually 2D. There's one, I think, that is in more 3D. Co-op style games with some puzzle elements. You have to complete levels, jump around, help each other, stuff like that. I have played a bit of it, and yeah, these are fun games, especially to play local co-op, I guess, or even online co-op, I guess. So this is the 5th game in the series, and this is 34% off already, $858 in India, $1979, £1649, and $1979 in the Eurozone. Next, we move on to September, and our big release is Mortal Kombat 1. So I think this is like the remake of the first game. Again, as you know, I'm not into these games, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was like a remake of the first game. And yeah, again, positive, very positive, mostly positive. And we have a 50% sale already, $22.49 in India. It's not showing the American prices, but I had a look. It is $34.99, $30 in the UK, $45 in Canada, $35 in the Eurozone. And next we have the indie game for September, and this is Beneath Oresa. So this is a deck builder with an interesting sort of setting. Art style reminds me a lot of the Borderlands style of games. So yeah, I was interested in this one. I have put it on my wish list, and I may pick it up in the future. So this is on a 30% sale, $770 in India, $1749, $13.99 in the UK, $21 in Canada, $15.39 in the Eurozone. Now on to October. Now keep in mind, with the later months, it'll be harder to find games on a good discount, even if there are good releases. So we have Ghost Runner 2 in October. First game was very fun, cyberpunk ninja, fast pace, some movement tech involved, wall running and things like that. And this is more of the same, very positive reviews, 86%. So this is 30% off, $1,819 in India, $28, 24 pounds, $37.79 in Canada, and 28 euros. I will be picking this up in the future when it's on a bigger sale. And then we also have Circuit Superstars. I have played a bit of this game through the, when they have the free weekends and stuff on Steam. So this is your racing simulation game, so it's not arcade. And they have this sort of top-down view, which needs a little time getting used to, but it is a lot of fun, very well-made game. Lots of different types of racing, and yeah, it's a good game. So 50% off, good regional pricing as well, $264 in India, $10, $749 in the UK, $11.39 in Canada, and 10 euros. This was in early access, so I've seen this for a while, but it got its full release, I think, in 23. Now we move on to November, and of course the big early release from November was RoboCop Rogue City. So again, a surprisingly well-made game apparently, because I tried the demo and it did not work on my PC, just kept crashing. So I did not check it out, but the game seems to be very positively rated, 90%, 91 almost. And yeah, the reviews I've seen also say it's a very good looking open world, shooting is fun, it's got the feel of the movie right as well. So yeah, it might be worth a look, and it's already 30% off, less than 2 months later. So $15.39 in India, $35, $31.49 pounds, 45 in Canada, and 35 in the Eurozone. So now on to the next game, second game in November, and it is again early in the month. and this is Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. So yeah, and a bigger release, overwhelmingly positive, and on a small sale. So a little surprising because these games are very popular, very successful, but they still put a nice discount on it. 28.49 in India, 37.49 in the US, 33.74 in the UK, 48.74 in Canada, and 37.49 in the Eurozone. And finally, let's talk a little bit about Starfield. So it is on a sale, but I'm not mentioning it here as a game on sale because the reviews are not great, as you can see here. And I wonder why that is, because when it came out, there seemed to be like normal expected hype. I was expecting it to be like a normal Bethesda game, some bugs at launch, gets patched eventually, a lot of loading screens and things like that. So I knew what to expect here. And the reviews seem to be okay early on, but recent ones, as you see here, are mostly negative. So what is going on here? Did they release a patch that broke something? Because if you see here, September started with a lot of negativity, and recent ones are also in December is getting a lot of negative reviews, more negative than positive, to be fair. So what happened here? Did they release a patch that messed things up? Did or is this some sort of targeted downvoting or something like that? Trying to see if there's like a information about a patch or something. Normally you see a patch update somewhere. Maybe I'll see it in the thing here. Okay, Starfield update notes. Maybe this patch caused issues, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, for me, I've played a lot of these Bethesda games, not a lot, but I have played most of them, and I'm mostly into Fallout rather than these Elder Scrolls ones, but I will try that as well. So I know what to expect with these. I wouldn't buy this anywhere close to launch. It's worth buying a few years down the line. So for me also it's quite expensive at like the full $70, 5,000 in India. I'm not paying that much anyway. So I would look into this in the future when it's, I don't know, under $20, when they have a Game of the Year edition, under 20 or whatever the Indian equivalent will be, because they have been good with regional pricing. So I don't know, under 1,000 rupees, perhaps 600, 700, 800 when it comes to that point. So I don't know, 20, 26 or something. So yeah, I'll eventually get to it. I don't think it'll be as bad because some of the reviews are kind of weird. Like people saying, I played 150 hours and I enjoyed it at first, then I got bored. So what happened? What changed? I feel like there's a lot of sort of jumping on the bandwagon with the hate here. A lot of people use Starfield to clickbait, articles and videos online. So it is a punching bag. I've seen this, like I've realized this is the case. I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as people say it is because I have played previous games, so I'm kind of used to it. But yeah, I can expect some issues. Obviously, NPCs acting weirdly, looking strange, but yeah, I saw a lot of reviews at launch and people playing the game. I did not think it was that bad, but again, what do I know? Anyway, check out these games. Let me know which of the games from this year you liked and picked up. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.